Supervisor Vestola,
Present.
Councilman Stat,
Here.
Councilman Gronwell,
Here.
Councilwoman Crowley,
Here.
Councilman Mitchell.
Here. Thank you. We have a quorum. I'd like to lead the pledge myself tonight. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. But before that, approval for the December 9th minutes.
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Second.
Second by Rick. Those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that carries. Thank you. Once again, Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Can you believe it? Privilege of the floor for myself. Governor Hochul did finally sign that bill that was on her table for so many days, the short-term rental. And there is a webinar coming up on the 16th that I can get you an invite to if you want to, but the Finger Lakes Visitors Connection's on it, county's on it, and so are many others. Another bill she signed in was the migration to .gov. And the fact that we got that done and got that done ahead of time is huge, because now every town's gonna be scrambling village that doesn't have it, and it's gonna cost more. So I think we save some money doing that. I really do. Other privilege of the floor, we'll have a second privilege of the floor later. One of the first things is the mileage rate. The federal and Ontario County rate is 70 cents a mile. I'd like to suggest we go with that for our town. Agree?
Agreed.
Okay, any more discussion?
Well, I agree. That seems to be the going rate, but it seems like just yesterday it was 50 cents a mile.
Well, Canadice was actually lower than the federal rate for many years, actually.
I mean, the whole time I've
Okay.
been on the board has been 50 some cents.
Right, right.
I agree. It's not that I have a problem. I just,
Well, maybe with the electric vehicles, it'll come back down.
Right.
I'm fine with 70 cents.
More humor,
Fingers crossed.
Right. Right.
more humor. Yep.
Sorry.
All right, so that was the one open item. You did copies of the organizational items. There is one change to that. I'll bring you to your attention. And that is authorized to sign town checks will be Stephanie Seeley.
Just for town clerk tax collector.
Town clerk tax collector, D as in dog, on the first page of organizational items. Everyone find that okay? On the first page?
Say it again.
Right here. That's gonna be Stephanie Seeley. If you want to just cross that out, just so you know. That's the preference for the town clerk to have Stephanie.
Diane Horning
Correct,
Right.
or substitute.
correct. Most things are the same as last year. The one other change was Birch Craig is now represented the county planning board. And there were no other changes that I can recall. And I did speak with everyone to see if they wanted to resume their roles, and they did indicate that. Petty cash funds, everyone was good with that. And we've already approved the schedule of salaries and hourly rates for employees and so forth. So I'll make a motion to move the organizational meeting items unless there's more discussion.
I'll second.
Okay, any more discussion on the organizational items?
Looks good.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
That carries. Thank you. Occasionally we do review organizational rules of procedure and order. Need a motion? Nothing changed, but just reiterating those things. There's no booing.
Motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
those in favor?
Aye.
That carries. I'd like to block the next 2, 4, and 5, just to be included in Ontario County and Livingston County bids for highway. Okay,
Second.
okay. Those carry. All right. The fee schedule will table for CEO. Joe, can we just we'll get together on that over the next few weeks? So we have for the next meeting. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That resolution I gave you will work fine. We just got to fill in a few things.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. So that's tabled. That will be next meeting. We have scheduled audits for town clerk, tax collector, and budget officer.
Yep, I have those on the to-do list for March, April. Is that okay?
That's excellent.
Okay.
And sooner the better for the court. They like the court. I get a letter that the court would like it.
Yeah, I know, but they've gotta, do the reconciliations first.
I understand. It's just,
Before
I
I
just
can
get
check it.
I get the letter from the court. That's all I can say. We need it sooner.
Put it on your desk.
Yep. And I've got the budget officer. It's gonna be Mengel, Metzger and Barr once again,
Great.
a private audit for
Great.
that. Okay. Communications, any discussion? I will say the watershed scoping meetings, I'll be attending the 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. meetings. The 7 p.m. is really the public meeting. And morning municipalities at the 2 o'clock, but you could go to either one. And those are on January 21st. And I did pass around information on that as well. Okay,
So you do realize that is for phase 3, north of the 28 bridge.
yes, and I did send, you saw that public notice?
Yeah.
Thank you. I presume you'll be there for both?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. We've seen a lot of each other. Okay, reports, town clerk.
For the month of December, paying to the supervisor for the general fund, $1,331.38. To the supervisor for water, $183.66. Decals, $23.62. And animal population control fund, $4 for a total disbursement of $1,515.04. I also wrote a check to the supervisor for the remaining money in the 2 tax collection accounts, savings and checking, for $53.19 to zero those out. And I have one more thing after that's approved.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Mark second. Those in favor?
Aye.
That carries. Thank you.
So I believe you are attending the training in New York, Christopher?
Yes. I am still contemplating on that one. Yes.
Okay, well, in case you do, I'm
The-
gonna ask for approval from the board now so
For the
that I
voting
can send
privilege.
it. Let me finish. I'm still speaking.
Yes.
For the certificate of designation to allow you to vote for the town when you're there. So I would need a motion and a second for that.
I make the motion. I second.
Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you for remembering that important detail because it does need to be done ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay, I that's all I had.
My little thing. And I get to sit more up front too. You're in the back. You're not voting. You're in the back.
Oh, there you go.
You don't get a. It's like
No donut.
it's like you're at an auction at the county fair. No report from historian. CEO report was submitted and he is on board as well. Joe?
So how we coming with cloud permit, Joe?
It's going well.
Are you inputting all these permits or have we released it to the public?
We have not released it to the public yet. I was waiting for the .gov to go through, and now I just have to get the cards ordered to send out to everybody. But a lot of the contractors that the bigger contractors that I've been using have experience with it, so they have accounts and are already using it without having to come in or use paper applications and such. So it's actually been working great.
Beautiful. Glad to hear.
Thank you.
Joe,
Yeah,
oh, is it possible to get the applicant's name listed on that report?
I believe so, yes.
And address, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It would be
I
helpful to me. If there was a name associated with the address.
okay. I'll look at it because we can change the reporting. We're still trying to get used to the reporting side of it.
Thank you.
Yep.
The request. Okay. Planning board, Ted Mayhood.
The planning board met on the 16th of December. We had no agenda items. Our meeting called out three motions, and that was all.
Okay, thank you. ZBA, do we have a report?
No, they just met last Wednesday.
You don't have a report though. You were just met. This will be fresh on your mind. Oh, you weren't there. Well, I'm glad we're getting an alternate. Busy schedule. Okay, moving right along. Highway Superintendent Jeremy.
All right, so since the last meeting in December, we've made 34 salt trips. And 3 additional runs with a couple trucks to deal with drifting issues. Also taken delivery of 500 tons of salt and mixed that with the mag chloride. And in between plowing trips, we've been doing routine maintenance on the trucks. Big expense for this month, the past month, was tires. So we started using Sedam Tire as one of our vendors a couple of months ago. Found they are very reasonable on their price. So we took the 20-ton equipment trailer over to their shop in Perry and had 8 new tires put on that. Those tires that were on there were probably 14, 15 years old and were whooped.
And you bought retreads, right?
Not for that.
Not for that one.
We also had new tires put on the crew pickup truck. And we do have an extra set of drive wheels that we keep in the container. So when we change them out, we take the old ones. Have the tires stripped off of it, they go through and sandblast them, steel rims, inspect them for cracks. And then repaint them, and then we also had a whole new set of retread tires installed onto those. We've had several issues with the 2 brand new Ford trucks. The F-550 had valve compression issue, turned out to be coil packs and spark plug wiring harnesses, so that was a fairly easy fix, but we were still without that for a week. That was covered under warranty. And also the 2023 F-250. We've had to replace another alternator on that. So it has 2 alternators and we've replaced both of them in a year and a half. A lot of it has to do with the design of the inner fender well, and it has a huge hole. So whenever you make a left-hand turn, all the road spray comes off the tire into the engine compartment, and the alternators are right there, and it goes right in the back of the alternators. So we've installed a old mud flap over that hole and try to alleviate the problem, but that was also covered under warranty as well. In the process of being down both of those trucks, we borrowed the CEO pickup truck and discovered that it has a leaking transmission cooler line. So that'll be taken probably down to Pete's Auto here this week, and we're gonna have him fix that. And the big news from Soil and Water was we were awarded both of the WQIP grants that we applied for this year. The first being a countywide grant for salt reduction. That was $250,000 countywide. So we're getting a little $15,000 portion of that, but that's going towards the live edge snowplow blades. And also we were awarded some more Fleximat. So I was instructed that we might not be able to keep applying for this, so I went pretty heavy on what I applied for, and it was close to $80,000 in material. And then the waiver portion of it that the town has to match is about $35,000, so.
But most of that is in kind.
The material is in kind, and then the waiver
Yeah, that's
is
what I
the
meant,
town's
yeah.
matching portion of it,
Right.
which it's a wash. The guys are gonna pay
They're working
whether they're
anyway.
sweeping the floor or they're doing something like this.
Right.
So it's a win.
Remind us how much the live blades are. The live
They're
edge are.
$3,300 a piece for one of the big snowplows.
We got 15 grand.
Yeah, so that's
Yep.
huge.
So I've got three sets for the big plows. One of which I've already bought. So the grant is retroactive. It goes back to May 15th of
24.
24. So the set that I just bought here a couple months ago, that'll be able to use for that.
That's a matching grant. How much should we have to?
It's the same thing as the Fleximat. It's 75%, 25%, so the town has to cover
That's awesome.
25%. And then I just like to publicly thank Katie for all the work that she's done with us. She's moved on from soil and water and taken a position within the county public works, so without her help writing all these grants, we would not have been able to do all this work. And that's all I got.
Salt isn't a problem yet for you? You got plenty of it?
I'm gonna find out tomorrow, so. I don't know if you've heard on the news, there's a salt shortage of American rock salt.
Mhm.
Private contractors have been completely cut off. What I found out on Friday from talking to some of the other guys is when you place an order. They are going to send somebody out to look inside your salt sheds
Make sure we're not
and
stockpiling.
see what you actually have on hand, and that will determine how much they will deliver to you. And when. So, yeah,
Don't get a nice.
it could get pretty interesting here in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
I just received 300 tons last week. So right now we're sitting with about 800 tons of straight salt and about the same of mix.
And what do we use over the course of the winter?
Over the course of the winter, about 1,700 tons.
Now, if we just hypothetically didn't get any now, how long would we go?
With what we have right now.
Yep.
Probably be good for 2.5, 3 weeks, depending on what the weather does.
Right.
Right. So we had a public works meeting today and this came up. And they're supposed to take care of municipalities before the private sector. We know that they're sort of obligated, but yet there is a shortage. The town of Victor's already, highway superintendent has said, drive very carefully because we're not going to salt like we normally do. You're aware of that.
That's the role that we're gonna start taking. We've
Oh.
kind of spoiled them so far this winter, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, they're gonna have to remember how to drive in winter conditions.
but just salt Jersey Hill so I can get here and home.
Yeah.
No, you gotta go back now. Your next special.
I just want to get to work.
You drive to Honey Lane up that way.
Oh, yeah, I've gone around before. Oops, that was before Jeremy. Well, thank you for that report. Also, we did get a credit back, when the contracts were renegotiated, when Ontario County piggybacked with Wayne County, and that came through on the last bill. It was $6,000 or something, but it was nice to get that credit. Thank you, Jeremy. And no vice grip discussion, we're good? All right, Honey Island Lake watershed.
All right, well, it looks like we're having a real winter, which I'm excited about. We had a week of ice cover in late December. Ice went in last Wednesday, January 8th. And as Mark was talking about before the meeting, on Saturday, January 11th, I don't know, there must have been 100 trucks at the state boat launch.
It was probably 200 people out there.
I've never seen it that busy.
Oh, yeah.
Even with a bass fishing tournament in the summer, they were parked along the road. I mean, all the parking spots were
Oh,
full.
I thought you meant they were on the ice.
Yeah,
Not yet.
and I already mentioned it's about 3.5, 4 inches of ice right now. So that's a good thing. And I got a call this afternoon from the highway superintendent of the town of Richmond, asking me to check the lake level for him. They've been removing debris out of the outlet channel last week, and they got their 30-day emergency permit to remove shale deposits between the 28 bridge and the weir, mostly to the block south of the 28 bridge. So he wants twice a day reports to see how fast the lake level comes down, but I suspect the lake level will come down pretty fast. So I'm going to have a lot of interesting times tomorrow because I sent the same report to the town of Richmond. And by the time I get there tomorrow night, the lake level will be significantly lower. Well, that's a good thing. And we're making good progress on our winter Honeywell Lake Watershed Task Force newsletter. We expect to publish it in early February. That is all I have.
Is that gonna screw up the ice then with the water coming out from underneath the ice?
It has a possibility
Oh, yeah.
how fast the lake comes down. If the lake level comes down fast, if it does, then the ice is gonna have a problem because it's gonna have to crack and go down to the water. So we're watching that, yes. Dorothy expressed, yes,
Safety.
there's a
issues.
possible issue there. But ice fishermen beware, they are the most
Courageous.
aggressive
Yeah.
risk takers that I've ever seen. So, you know, they were out there and there's 2 inches of ice. I wouldn't go out there 2 inches of ice. So, but yes, there is a possibility.
Yeah, it'll start booming here pretty quick.
So I will tell Tom he should just go at it nice and easy, let it come down nice and easy. And then he gave Dorothy some homework. When I told him the lake level had gone down 3 inches, he wanted to know, well, how many gallons of water is that?
Right.
The lake is 1,800 acre surface, 3 inches drop. So when we get home tonight, Dorothy's got to find the formula and calculate that into how many gallons. Anyway, I'm done.
Excellent. Any questions for Terry? Predictions on the lake level tomorrow? Off the record. Prediction of lake level tomorrow. 800 and.
What's your
Well,
prediction?
tonight,
Yeah,
well, it's coming down pretty slow. I checked it right before we.
I'm looking for a number.
Hmm?
Looking for a number tomorrow's number. After,
I think it'll be down another 3 inches tomorrow.
great, really, be interesting. Thank you.
Well, the last time they cleaned the outlet out was late July of 2023.
23.
And I didn't get a phone call. But I checked the lake level 2-3 times a day. And all of a sudden, the lake level started going down like that. So I go, what is this? So I get in truck and I drive up there and sure enough, they're in the outlet. So it went down pretty fast the last time.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
I suspect it'll come back, get down to real level over the next week to 10 days.
Okay, thank
That
you.
should make Kate and her neighbors happy.
That's right.
Thank you again. Assessors did submit a written report for your review. Any questions, discussion? Water district operations, Kate.
So, water pumped was 738,000. It's about 38,000 high from last year. And some of that I would expect is just the cold weather and people letting the taps drip. The other thing that I passed out is fourth quarter for the water district maintenance. For the year for 2024, $35,000 in stakeouts and other water district maintenance. Actually down $2,700 from 2023 and a big drop from 2022. So things have definitely leveled out. and I did not see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Any questions, discussion? Thank you. Supervisors report that financial report was the year end, December 2024. As you know, we still have abstract 13 that has to be accounted for, abstract 14, and if necessary, abstract 15. We'd like to avoid abstract 15, so hopefully we get all our 24 expenses before the next Wednesday prior to the board meeting. So I'll need a motion to approve that report.
Motion to approve the financial report.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. Thank you. The composting program for Canadice, the organics program, will continue in 25. We do have funding through Ontario County Sustainability. Today I also had a meeting, and Supervisor Marshall and I are going to try to get something going for the transfer station, and with the landfill closure, there's more interest to do these kinds of things. And we're trying to see, do we model it like Victor's doing? Do we model it like Canada was doing?
What's Victor doing?
Just the size of the toters and so forth. And you have to have DEC permits, and they're checking on that before we can even do that. And because
So we would take organics into the recycle?
to the transfer station,
Okay, the transfer station down here.
correct. So be a separate, so there's a separate firm that takes care of organics.
Right.
So it's a matter of educating the public what organics are.
Exactly.
And again, waste diversion is going to be more important going forward. So.
How is the Board of Supervisors coming? Am I allowed to ask that now with the landfill? Work.
It's funny you asked it. We just had a meeting on that today. It moving as fast as a body like that can move. So part of that was the organics discussion. We're paying a consultant to help guide us through the process, one that we've used prior. So that contract was renewed, and there's two separate things we're trying to get done as far as that goes.
Is it the same consultant that?
Yes, that produced that 400-page report. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And they are from Florida. So they were on top of the landfill when it was very windy last week, and it wasn't great for them, and they couldn't get a lot done. So they got to come back. So we approved another $4,000 for them to come back.
Is there no possibility of the vote to close the landfill? Is there no possibility of that being reconsidered?
Interesting you say that. If you were to ask me that after I was the dissenting vote, I would say no, but then I've been told that resolution could get reversed, and another resolution could get written to extend the landfill. However, you need the votes, and with the weighted vote, the way the county is, small towns don't have a lot of power. So Geneva, Farmington, Victor, Canandaigua want something. That's
Who all wanted to close it? You know what?
everybody.
Everybody.
Just, well, everyone that voted, many people changed their mind because politically it wasn't a good move to vote no.
Right.
But I'm not a politician, sorry.
So I'm just curious. I thought I'd go to the source. So 10 days ago, when I was taking my garbage to K&D behind the Richmond Town Hall, the garbage truck driver has been there for 10, 15 years. So I asked him, I said, what are you gonna do when they close the Ontario County landfill? You know what he said?
It's not gonna do anything different.
No, he said, oh, well, we expect the county to create a large transfer station. And we just take it to the transfer station and the county will ship it
Do something else.
on rail cars or.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna build a rail. Oh, yeah, we move really fast. The
So
county,
anyway, that's what the,
I wish.
in the trenches.
Good to know. Good to know.
That's what they would like to see or expect to see. I should use my words carefully.
Right.
Expect to see.
That's one of the possibilities. Rail
People
car,
I know in the town of Seneca don't want it to close.
Right.
right. Oh, no, it's 60% of the residents in the town of Seneca said that. And people you know said that, and we made that public, but yet. The town board said the conscience of the
The
residents
county
said,
board said.
no, the town board.
Oh.
Vote.
Town of Seneca?
The town of Seneca.
Yeah,
But they went against their.
They went against the residents.
constituents, yeah.
Well, they need to be voted out.
Yeah,
Well, I gotta be careful. What the heck, right?
Careful.
It's very interesting, I must say. It's extremely interesting. It's extremely, it's sad because many people and some residents said they moved to Seneca because of the low taxes. Because they extended water out to everybody, all those reasons, and now suddenly they're gonna have to pay taxes. They're gonna have to pay, they're gonna have to pay for their recycling and their refuse.
Mhm.
And it's not gonna be an affordable place to live. Actually, the cost of living for every Ontario County resident is gonna.
It's gonna go up.
So I know we spent time on this.
significant, oh yeah.
Significantly.
I'm gonna see Drew Wickham in about a month, so we'll give him her time.
Oh, boy. Be careful. It's emotional.
The people that voted to close it need to. It's like somehow they need to feel the pain they're going to feel when it's too late.
Mhm.
And say, oh, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to close the landfill. We gotta figure out a way to have them feel that pain now.
I don't,
I have no idea how to do that.
right. I don't disagree, and I know other. Feel free to talk to other town boards.
Gentleman in the back wants to say something.
Yes, sir, Mr. Cooter.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, I see a lot of tractor trailers coming the throughway with garbage from New York City.
We actually don't get any refuse from New York City.
Where's it going?
Oh, I don't know. But so everything's going west. Everything's going west, and it's gonna go further west if Seneca Meadows closes and Ontario County closes. Everything's gonna go farther west. That's just the nature of the beast. The problem is emissions. And it's all gonna come back to us.
And road wear.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it just everything. So, but the key thing is how do we reduce the waste streams? So purchase things smartly, things that can be reused, recycled, reduced or refused. Don't even buy something if you really don't need it. How can we repurpose things? So, the mattress recycling, we're gonna get one here sooner than later, so save your mattresses. All they gotta do is add another tractor trailer, but they filled it up, but they didn't realize how much the demand would be, because now we can recycle mattresses. Somebody actually wants them.
Mhm.
So all those things are gonna help.
When they did it the last time over in Geneva, I was there ahead of when it opened, and there was already a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you went to a mattress?
Oh, yeah,
All right, good.
yeah, I got rid of them.
Nice job. Yeah, well, that was a good move.
Yeah.
We'll try to have these events here. So, where was I here?
Jersey Hill, number 2.
Yeah,
Jersey Hill.
so basically we do want to do more with that, and that's going to keep coming up, and that's why it's still unfinished business. So, good news, the Jersey Hill Road study, I didn't think I was going to get something back from him until later, in this first quarter of 25. Got the study and I submitted to Ontario County Soil and Water, and it's above and beyond what's required to submit for round 21 application WQIP. And
Oh, I have a question.
and I'm just going to quote Megan Webster before I forget. She's also going to seek out what other types of grants we might be able to secure.
So I've done a number of these grants.
Excellent.
It was not for road construction or repair. But I believe there's gotta be an intermittent. What is the series of steps? Because I believe to file for the grant and issue an RFP to do the work, we need another level of more detail about the project. So is there an intermediate step here?
Yes, Megan submits. So this is enough for her to make that submittal.
No, I don't think so.
I just
What
talked to her today.
I've run into is
Okay.
needing engineered plans with a PE stamp
Yeah, this is a
On the-
preliminary.
Yeah, this is preliminary. Yeah, no, yeah, I understand that. And it's a series of recommendations.
Yes.
You take the recommended recommendation and they need to blow it up. You check with Megan, but that it would be my expectation.
Okay.
I don't think this is adequate based on what I've run into.
Okay, I only spoke to her for like 10 minutes today. On
So it'd
this
be
topic.
like taking their recommended option. And now doing detailed engineering drawings and material lists and so forth.
Yes, and getting current pricing because who knows how long that.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's been
Okay.
my,
Well, I'd like to hold the horses on this, okay?
Okay,
Because I don't agree with their recommendation.
okay,
The way I see it, they're doing a recommendation, which is going to require a whole lot of engineering, a whole lot of construction that's eventually going to fail because it always does. Okay, particularly the more highly engineered it is, the greater the degree of failure. In their own report, they say, well, you could move the road and that's going to be like $1.7 million. But we really think you ought to do all these pilings and sheet pilings and reconstruction and all of this. And that's going to cost, 1.8 to 1.9 million. That's what we recommend. Well, yeah, because you want the engineering work, right? Because engineering intense. I'm sorry, I'm slightly jaundiced here, okay?
that's fine.
To me, as soon as you fight Mother Nature, you're up for a battle that's never ending. And my feeling is move the road away from the creek. Then we don't have to worry about guardrails. We don't have to worry about side sloughing down. All of that goes away. And yes, it's a little difficult. We got to maybe do eminent domain type stuff, which I've never been involved in, and I have a distaste for generally.
Yes.
But here's a case where, okay, I guess I'm beginning to see how it might be appropriate. Okay, and as difficult as that is, once done, it's done and over. And you're not checking to see if the pilings are failing or, do we have rust coming up on the deep anchors and I'm sorry, concrete cracks, it deteriorates. I've been around it for 40, 50 years.
Right.
And if you've got a simple, straightforward, even if it costs a little more, method to solve your problem, then why on earth are we not using common sense and going down that path? They just disregard it out of hand. Okay, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay, well, okay, because there's not a whole lot of engineering required to build a road. We all kind of know how to build roads pretty well. And yeah, we got to take some trees down. We got to move ditches. And we got some people that are going to lose some of their property. They're not going to be happy about it. But in the long run, for the town, is it not the best and better planning to come up with a solution of this nature rather than trying to Band-Aid fix, staple, do all these things, which eventually we're going to come back and, we may not be readdressing it. Okay. But it will be readdressed.
Point taken.
So after having gone through and read all this stuff, I would take big issue.
Yeah.
Especially if it's costs the same, or like I said, even a little more, but they're saying it's a little less. So why aren't we doing
So
that?
how does
What am I missing?
how does the board feel about eminent domain? That's the only way this could work. Unfortunately, I don't see people
Once in a while.
Well,
How do you know it's eminent domain? Maybe
Right.
they'd be willing to sell.
Right,
They can
exactly.
approach.
No,
Let's not make
no,
that assumption.
David, they haven't even gone, no, this is all preliminary, just very,
No, I mean,
Just
we have
getting
no,
ahead
we
of
have no idea, but
yeah.
Well, from 37 down to the first set of pines, the town did take that aspect and bought into that field. So, oh yeah, from Earl Maston. You know, from 37,
Yep,
you know where the log home is, that
Yep.
field there?
yep.
We own into that field now.
On the south side of that log
It
cabin?
would be on the south side.
Well, that's interesting to know.
No, you guys didn't know that? I worked for the highway department when it happened.
Okay,
We got it from Earl Maston.
how
You might
much,
wanna check. More of a right of way, we could move the whole road over.
how far down does it go?
It goes down to the pines. The first set of pines there.
I'd love to see that documentation.
It should be. on
Jeremy,
the
you know
book.
anything about this? Okay.
Check it on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It'd be easy enough to look into it.
No. Glad you're here,
There's at
Pat.
least one house that's extremely close to Jersey Hill Road.
Yeah, that one,
The red one.
the one I've had to park at when I
About
couldn't get
a
up the
third of the
hill.
way down the hill.
But it doesn't go down that far. That's,
Yeah.
I wanna clarify, it's that field, but I mean, that's a big chunk of road that.
Yeah.
You can just
Move around.
Oh, yeah,
put up a berm on the other side,
right?
save a lot of money.
That's where
When were you,
issues are that I'm concerned about the most are at the top of the hill.
when were
Right.
you on the
Brought this
highway?
whole
Right.
thing on.
Right.
When were you on the highway?
Just retired a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
from the early 70s to, what was that? When did you start, Jeremy?
2020.
Okay,
I remember, believe it was Wendell Coy, they got it okay, and the town agreed with it, the whole 9 yards. Wow.
well, and I know the name Earl Manson.
Yeah, no, it's, whoa.
Cool.
He gave it to us.
Yes,
It's awesome.
Wow,
I mean, what if we have to buy a house
right,
and we reshape the property lines
Right.
and then sell it? You
It's
know what I
at
mean?
least worth the
That's just part of, that's part of
Absolutely.
doing business,
Absolutely.
part of making
Absolutely.
things work.
That's why you're here. Thank you.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, why pay? If we even had to pay a little bit more, it's gonna be more of a permanent solution than the Band-Aid we're putting on it. And as you said, fighting with Mother Nature doesn't,
You always
It does.
lose.
you lose. I mean,
Just a matter of time.
Mother Nature and gravity.
yeah.
Well, and we did do it in segments, so as we work our way down, we're kind of, I think we're sort of handcuffed at some point as we go farther down, correct, Jeremy?
Well, you still, fine, move the road. But you still have to stabilize the bank because it will just keep eroding. I'm not saying don't move the road. I'm just saying moving the road doesn't stop that
the
erosion.
progression, right,
Father time. Right.
And it might be 100 years, but it will eventually catch up with
Yeah.
right,
the new roadbed.
right,
Still have to do something with the bank.
cool.
Point taken. Point taken. Great points.
Well, my question to Jeremy was, can we just close the road?
Jersey Hill.
Yeah,
How am I gonna get to work?
You guys have some cracks with it.
well, we open up cracks.
I've taken a ride on that, many of a plow driver has, and I suggest no. It is a terrible road, that first pitch is,
Oh, you talking about Cressley?
oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
lost a
oh, yeah.
truck down there.
Yeah,
Steve Holmes lost a truck down there.
that's why we don't plow it anymore.
That's right. Too dangerous.
It's even hard to ride my bike.
Is there any way to make the curve in it to make it less steep?
No, No, it's because of the gullies deprived of the.
We could
of
kind
the
of go like
land
this,
laid out.
beautiful, beautiful
There's a
road.
gully on each side of Crutchley.
Yeah.
Well, there's gully on each side of Jersey.
Correct.
Well, I know, but you don't have any. You can't,
Anywhere to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
more curves.
Okay.
And no room to move.
But China builds things like this all the time. I'm sure we could come up with a few $1 billion. Okay, but thank you.
Well,
And I'm loving everything you said.
So-
well, an implication of this is,
Long term, you're talking about 50, 60, 80 years down the road.
well, what I'm suggesting may affect what kinds of grants
Well, these are discussions we
as
can.
well. I mean, that's why it's like,
Right.
you know, if we're gonna entertain the idea of what I suggested, it may be a different grant program, or do we have any idea? Are there grants that would supplement this kind of venture?
Try for a multimodal, which would be through Senator Helming's office. That's through the DOT.
Yeah, and I can look at
It's,
the.
okay,
EDC,
so it would be
the
different.
EDC grants,
A grant to relocate the road is one thing.
right,
A grant to stabilize the bank is another.
right.
And Chris keeps mentioning Megan Webster, which is Ontario County Salmon Water. They're into stabilization. They're not into building roads. So
Who are we talking about?
Soil and water,
Ontario County Soil and Water.
yeah.
they are into erosion control.
Mhm.
They are not into building roads. So I have a different question. This last report, have you run it by the lead public works
Of course,
engineer?
he's been involved from the get-go.
What was their reaction to the recommendation?
He's fine with everything he saw. I talked to him today as well.
So he was supportive of their recommendation,
Yes, at this time.
Ontario County Public Works.
Chris Day,
Okay, I was just trying to understand.
the lead engineer for the county PE. Yes.
So if you go that way, Megan Webster could do the grant. If we decide to relocate the road, you're in a different ballgame.
So I think it's a good idea to maybe at least explore a little bit about. Somebody asked, how much would that cost? How much work? You're more than welcome to run with that. And I'll certainly do what I can to work with you on that. I don't have any experience in eminent domain other than through the county, but all I was there was on a committee. All I heard about is how we access some frontage so we can put a new sidewalk in by the college. And there's another roundabout we're gonna put in, and we got a farmer, and he won't sell us the land, and we're gonna have to do that. I'd be careful how I say this.
Yeah, be careful.
It happens, but I'm not that involved with that process, but I know it's not easy. Thank you.
I'm gonna look at the EDC list and see if there's anything there.
Okay.
that we could capitalize on.
Great
Sold to
discussion.
the Town of Canadice.
Pardon me?
Shows some being sold to the town of Canadice.
Yes. Oh, look at that. All right.
Encore?
No, it's on Encore yet.
Okay. July 1st, 78.
Sold to the town of Canadice,
Saw it.
deed date was,
This one?
no, right here, sold to town of Canadice, 89,
5189.
Cool.
It's where I was born.
5189, deed book
Yeah, you
85.
wish.
She did the
I've
math.
heard that.
We bought it from,
Earl, wasn't Earl Manson?
no, well, Earl sold part of it.
I see, yeah, I see them on that document 7178.
Yeah, and then there was this sold to Richard Zeusler, Zeusler. That was in 79.
I'll see what Holly can come up with.
Once the cottage is built up.
Kyle
Kyle,
Bloom,
Kyle, yeah.
Just bought that.
Bought in 2018.
18.
Okay.
So that's recent.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
All right, any further discussion? I like it. So we have some homework and follow-up. This remains unfinished business. Thank you. Speaking of new business, I want to block resolutions for highway superintendent, software support, payroll, and municipal accounting contracts with Williamson Law Book and Town Clerk Plus software, water and sewer billing software. Those first three resolutions, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
These are renewals.
Yeah.
Those in favor?
Aye.
We have a resolution for someone who served the town of Canadice for 20 years. He was our health officer. And sympathy for Michael Hutton. I'll need a motion.
So move.
Second.
Terry second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. An appointment to ZBA. Someone wants to serve the town. Eric Brownwell, can't wait to meet him. I've never met him. Wants to help out the town in the ZBA. As an alternate.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Second, Terry. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have a resolution to set up a public hearing for February meeting at Canadice Town Hall, 7 PM to address issues at 7039 Ross Road.
I move.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and that's done. I bet you'll be here for that meeting.
Well, I got some questions. How long is this gonna drag out? I mean, we're in the courts, we're over here at town hall. This has been since I've owned the property.
Right?
And it's upsetting because it doesn't get better. And the guy lies to the building inspector all the time.
Right,
His hands are tied, which I don't think is fair to him.
right.
And you're wasting the town's attorney because it's the same thing. Oh, I'm not prepared at this time. Oh, I don't know. Or, you know, he lies his way through everything.
Well, unfortunately, there's a process that the town has to go through to do these kinds of things. It's not like we can just go over there, take a bulldozer and
But they even had it, your town attorney even remembers when Bob Best was in there and this was brought up at the same time.
I
The
can't,
same mess.
that was way before me, so I don't know, unfortunately, I can't address that and how that happened and how that sat for
Well,
so
I
long,
remember things, it's like Jersey Hill, so.
right? Yeah, no,
It's very disappointing.
yeah,
You know, I mean, because I have to deal with it. I have to push the back on his property. Is that right?
Mhm.
He doesn't have any water. He doesn't have any heat in that trailer, but he's living in there.
he didn't go to Florida, I thought he was going.
No,
Oh, so,
no, too many court hearings.
so. Well,
You know, you guys step over on my side of the fence
sure,
and look at the property and say, would I want that next to me?
oh, absolutely not,
And how long's this been going on?
right,
It is, it's very disgusting.
right.
I know,
Are you-
I
are
have
you
a
as-
lot of,
Excuse me, are you his neighbor?
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Playing catch up here a little.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know personally, professionally, I don't know what we could do different than what we've done, other than the process, the CEO citing them, writing them up, taking them to court, and now with this process here.
Right.
I don't know how we could expedite things any
I
faster.
mean, the fire companies had problems with them, am I right, Mark?
Is
His
it-
fires that he started?
Isn't that the one that burned up?
Yep.
Trailer burned up there?
Yeah.
No, not that.
And- oh, that was the second one. The other one was the fire was as tall as the trailer that's there.
Hmm.
He was burning. Pressure treated wood.
Yeah, we've been there before.
So if this public hearing takes place, or when it does, what can we expect as a result of it?
That's a good question.
So if the town is going to do the process to take a structure
remedy.
down, they have to set a public hearing, and then at the public hearing, if they approve it, then the process starts for, getting a contractor to do the work, I believe the property owner has an option of doing it themselves and they have a time frame they're allowed, which has happened over here like at Buckland's when their house caught on fire.
Right.
We've had other properties that go through this process. Sometimes they just say, go ahead, let the town do the work and the fee gets put on their tax bill. But we have to have the public hearing first.
Exactly, and the one on 15A, I think we took over the course of either 30 or 90 days.
Yeah, that
To
was,
actually get it remedied, and didn't he do the work?
he did the work himself,
Yeah.
yes.
The owner, you have to give the owner, believe it or not, you have to give the owner a chance at the public hearing to decide whether or not he wants to take on the work,
I understand that.
and
but
then he gets a timeline that
he's
it
been
has to be
cited
done,
By Joe to stop work.
okay?
Because he never follows through with any of the permits or bringing, Roy White up to him or whatever he was supposed to do.
That's the reason that you want this public hearing, so that we can move forward for you.
What do we got town laws for?
So that, people respect,
The good people respect,
that's right,
but the bad ones just keep on going and going and going.
and that's why you start with a public hearing. And say to them, look, you have X number of days to
Well,
run
then I
it.
blame the town because that should have happened 15 years ago. When it went through the town's court with the same attorney that you have now.
Okay. And
15
several
years ago?
Yeah.
of
This
us,
has been ongoing
Ongoing,
for
yeah.
so long. I've got a folder with this many pictures in it. Joe's got a ton of pictures of it. You guys need to take a look at what he sees.
He sent us a package full of pictures and it's more stuff than I've
But the
ever
thing
seen.
is, they said that Jackie had so many days to clean up the mess. 2 years went by and it still got worse. They took down the one trailer that was hooked to the trailer that's there now. The trailer there now, it should be condemned. Scary. It's bad, real bad. No heat in it. When it got really cold, he had to go find shelter somewhere else. Come on, you guys, that's unhealthy.
Right, right.
I don't even think he's got running water now. Well, my friend works for Rochester Telephone. He walked in there. Wow, I can't work in here. There's a hole in the floor.
He's got a phone? Got a landline?
Yeah, one.
That's odd.
Well, when you don't pay the bill, it's disconnected.
Right. That's odd.
But I know you guys have, there's a paper trail that's an arm, but I've already went through many paper trails. My wife and I both. And that's why people get away with stuff.
I'm surprised to hear that this is the second attempt, but this
Yeah, I
attempt,
mean, if you
this
talk
one's
to the
gonna, this
town
one should
attorney-
stick. This one should stick.
Okay, we'll talk.
Was there an order to remedy before?
There was, yes, by your town attorney.
Can't take a trailer out, right?
They had to take the trailer out and clean up the mess, but because she complained she didn't have so much money, that they gave her a little leeway, which is fine. But it's still there.
So nothing ever got done?
No. And it's just.
Yeah,
like
the
what's
trailer
gonna
was
happen
taken,
now.
the trailer disappeared.
No, it didn't. It's down in parts, right on the ground.
Oh, it's still there.
Trailers that was up there
Disappeared.
I-
but not where he's been living.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Like I said, I know your hands are tied. I respect that. But my hands are becoming very loosely because, I buy permits. I had to put on a front porch. I buy a permit. Why can't everybody else? Why can't everybody work together?
Yeah.
If he would have said something to me, I'd have been down there with my tractor to help him clean up the mess. Says he took out 17 dumpsters of crap. One
Oh, he did
dumpster.
take a big dumpster. Oh, good.
One. That was 2 years.
That was 2
ago.
years ago.
But like I said, if he would have been decent, I would have been decent. I'd have helped him
Okay.
just to get the mess cleaned up.
Well, I'm sure he'll be here. It will be posted and he'll definitely get noticed to be here if he wants to be. And it'd be interesting to meet him face to face.
The 10th,
It is.
January 10th, right?
It's February,
Or February 10th.
Yep.
February 10th,
second
sorry.
Monday in February. 7 AM.
Yeah, be here, please.
7 AM.
So did we?
7 a.m. How about
No.
7 p.m.?
No, 7 p.m.
I
Yeah,
want to start
yeah.
early. It's gonna be a long meeting.
So did we vote to approve the resolution?
That's a great question. I thought we approved it. Eileen? That was approved?
I'm more than happy to take approval again. I have a motion and a second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries unanimously.
Okay,
One other thing to say on this,
Sure,
your building department has been great to work with.
absolutely.
I'm very proud that we have somebody that is not afraid to do something.
One of my,
Him and Rich both are great.
one of my top 10 hires.
Hey, Joe?
Yeah, the case of beer can be a little bad, no, just kidding.
Thank you.
But he's trying to do the best he can, and sometimes his hands are a little bit tight too. Oh, but I do appreciate you listening.
So I believe in your packets was include the payroll schedule, the board meeting schedule that there's a couple dates that we'll want to just look at going forward. So again, I'm looking at doing the budget workshop. So we have a 3-week spacing between the August meeting and the the September town board meeting and the October town board meeting. So they're about 3 weeks apart. So we'll have those dates.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. And I just looked at my calendar again before the year.
thank you.
Thank
Meeting,
you.
which meeting? Say it again. I'm sorry.
Well, just going forward, the budget workshop last year for the first time, in the old days, the budget workshop was 2 weeks after the town board meeting, and maybe that 3-week spacing kind of works better because when things come up like our situation here, we can address things. Saves a special meeting. So that's my goal with that. So I will get you those dates. So approval of the bills.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Second,
Second.
Okay, I'm gonna give Rick a second.
Okay.
Been a while. There you go. Good job.
and who
Those in
made the
favor?
motion?
Terry,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That carries. Privilege of the floor. We have Richmond Rec here on Wednesday. I'll pop in briefly. They're gonna set up on the 14th, and it could be fun for all. There might even be popcorn. We had the US Nationals at Bristol Mountain, and we had a lot of leftover popcorn, so I
You had a lot
have a
of
popcorn
popcorn.
distributor. Everyone's happy.
Got one more thing for the report.
And I have one as well. So the communication tower shortfall, but
That's what I was gonna bring up.
oh, well, okay, good, because I talked to Administrator Bolt. He wasn't aware of that, but what he did tell me is, yes, they're working on it. You might have some more details. I'll let you say that. But there are dead spots in Geneva, Bristol, to name a few. In fact, they're putting up a tower in Seneca County to cover Geneva.
This is where the problem lies. It's because somebody's full of crap. Because we had coverage up till 6 months ago.
What they had
And
to
we
do with the
lost
Bristol,
coverage.
Bristol Tower getting knocked down. I heard.
It was
And
put
then-
back up and that's when we lost coverage.
Well, they're not dialed, again, I'm just a messenger here. They're not dialed in, but we did elevate it. The sheriff's department's certainly working on it. And I actually sent one to Jessica and the Hemlock Fire Chief as well. It's just try to elevate that today through county administration.
Yeah, because somebody needs to be made aware of it, because we have no coverage. We've been just pushed around and
Yep.
thrown off. Jeremy doesn't have, your radios don't work
Affected
now.
Highway too.
Yeah.
So
We can't talk to each other.
So
And cell phones
it's
don't
beyond,
work.
it's beyond putting repeaters or maybe just another tower. So I did bring it up to County Administrator DeBolt today. I could say that and he got right back to me. He says, I'm not aware of that. Told me about some other situations. Then he got right back to me between meetings. He actually worked on that between a break.
Well, there's got to be a huge breakdown then, because the Ontario County Sheriff's Department's been aware of it since.
Correct. So maybe if we can generate a letter with our fire departments and then I'll talk to David or to the sheriff and say, he wants that as well.
Oh, yeah,
And what are we doing?
because I spoke with the undersheriff.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dave.
Yep.
And not Dave, that's his father, Mike.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter can't call en route.
Right.
From her house. She can't call in service.
Where's the dead spot?
The dead spots go from County Road 40 at the top of the hill, top of Allen's Hill Road by,
So it's in Richmond too.
oh yeah, it goes all the way from there up the top of Allen's Hill, all the way down 36, almost to Mueller's Field Station, all the way down the East Lake Road, all the way up 37, up into
We could get,
Excuse me.
Lukenbach is dead.
so we can get Daryl involved in this discussion
Is
too.
there a
though.
problem, is there a problem with the tower over on Goulet?
There's no tower on Google.
Yes, there is. I can see it from my house.
It's not their tower.
It's a multi-cell because when.
It's
it
not
goes-
cell phone. This is the,
Yes, it is, because when it.
no,
goes
we are not
down,
on cell phone.
What do you want?
800 meg or 700
And there's
megahertz.
not a colo on that tower?
No.
They
Nope.
should be.
Our towers are down in Canadice across the road here.
Okay,
There's one down on Hunt Hollow. There's one in, where was she?
Lawrence Hill.
Lawrence Hill,
There's one over in Springwater.
East
And-
Bloomfield.
And who runs that
That's the
frequency?
county. The county owns it.
So the county's got some issues because Bristol's got similar dead spots as well. I was not aware that Richmond is, so maybe we get Daryl and we have to. you
Oh
know,
yeah, Richmond, yeah, all Main Street. To call en route for the fire department, when we leave the firehouse, there is one spot and it's right when you pull out of the firehouse, out of the rear bay, is the only place you can call en route.
Yikes.
Hello.
Oh,
We had a standby, police standby for the trailer park, I think it was, for
Right.
mental hygiene.
right.
The cops couldn't talk to the county, the fire department couldn't talk to the
Oh, yeah,
county.
there were a ton of vehicles there.
So
And so nobody knew what they were doing.
that was elevated today and I will follow up on it, but I'm also gonna write.
Is it another
Daryl Marshall.
tower solution or?
This is where it gets goofy. We had coverage up until 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
You know, something's down in the system.
The
We
tower that
had
knocked over
coverage.
is what my understanding was in Bristol.
My understanding was that tower was put on in service. It was knocked down. It got repaired. When it got repaired, it wiped everything
They
out.
didn't sync properly is what I was told. And hoping you can get that information as well.
That makes
They weren't
sense.
synced properly.
We can't get any information out of anybody. They sent out the second in command of the communications for Ontario County. He reported back all the dead spots and there was nothing done with the
So
report.
Allen's Hill, all the way to Main Street, all the way up here.
Yep.
All the way up 36. See, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
would have said something to Daryl today because we met today. So
You come up, yeah, I mean, it's,
Scary.
well, we stood there was a wreck earlier this summer on 37, just into Canadice. On 37, and it was all dead from like just above Tommy Flagg's house, all the way down the dip. And there's a lot of miles of nothing.
no, this is a
Technology.
good discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta call my daughter on her cell phone to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, so I just emailed both fire chiefs to request the county administrator further look into the communication dead spots in Canada on behalf of the sheriff department, fire departments and EMS. But
In highway.
In highway.
And
We
highway.
run off the same radio.
Mhm,
all
it's
right,
all the same radio.
I will elevate that and maybe Daryl and I'll put a letter together because that's kind of crazy. Unfortunately, we're not the only ones. Geneva's got issues in Bristol and there's probably more.
Geneva's always had issues.
Naples has issues.
Naples
Oh, yeah,
has issues.
yep.
Brought it up
he
at our
did-
Association meeting last week.
He did say that too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And you think of what's going on in Los Angeles, like,
Well,
Have you given the privilege to the floor yet?
yes,
that was
we,
me.
yep, it,
I got one thing to add.
sure.
Real fast. We're supposed to appear in court again the 23rd
Or,
of this month.
Yeah.
For Mr. Smith
real,
with Judge Coon. So I just haven't.
has he made a judgment yet? Sorry,
Can we postpone this? Can we, I want to
No.
go to Florida. Can we postpone that?
oh,
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is what he's saying, not you.
That's what Kuhn keeps telling you?
No, that's
No, no,
what.
no.
Smith.
Mr. Smith.
Oh, Mr. Smith keeps
Oh, yeah,
telling you.
I'll have the receipts for you.
Okay, but
But That's what we're getting all the time, but we're still have another court date coming up towards the end of the month.
Hmm.
20th, maybe? It's a Thursday. I
It's
don't
a
need-
Thursday. Yeah.
I just happened to see and I didn't want to conflict with your resolution.
Oh, that's fine.
And this is the same thing cleaning up is,
Yard,
so this is from a,
it's going on and on and
a
on.
judgment from how long ago that,
When did it start? It was during hunt season.
Be the 23rd.
It'd be the 23rd.
Yeah,
that's
it's the
it.
court date, yeah.
The first one.
No,
No,
this is a court date on something,
now, coming up.
no. That it doesn't have anything to do with Joe's deal, right? This is
It
something,
does, Joe. knows
Joe's been
about it.
involved in Sheila.
It doesn't have anything to do with what we just did tonight, but what Pat's saying is it going to conflict with, we're still setting the public hearing and
Right.
going forward with what we have to do, but that's
Okay.
separate from what's going on
And the
in
sooner
court.
we do that, the sooner we can do more. So we
Right.
don't want to delay the public hearing.
But I didn't know what would happen if the justice says, oh, that's it, you're done.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to have a contractor come in. That's where we're at.
It's not going to change our process.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for the.
You know, I don't want
good
to see
question.
a monkey wrench go into it. And
Right, yeah, you don't want to, yeah, you got it.
My opinion, if he tells the court he's going to take care of cleaning it up, we're still going forward with what we're doing.
Okay, beautiful.
Thank you.
good.
Sounds great. Sorry, I just wanted to intervene that court gate.
Nope, you're fine.
We didn't have a issue.
Ted, privilege of the floor.
Status of the town code update with the sewers.
Yes, tabling that for this meeting, we'll have a public hearing to set the local law. The next, and I'm trying to batch all these code updates all together. Okay,
This has an implication for the comprehensive plan committee's ability to work ahead.
Right.
So,
okay,
If he
me
sets the
that
public
answer, Bob.
hearing, Ted, if he sets the public hearing next month for the following month, that still shows it's in the process of being officially adopted. So I would think the committee could use that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mentioned that to them. They weren't
They don't like it.
totally on board with that. And they know it's in the works. They'd like a little something a little more firm.
Well, we still can't do it without a public hearing first.
Right.
all right, then why don't I set a
I
public
got the
hearing?
same
How about
answer last month.
How about if I set a public hearing for next meeting for that local law?
And
fast track.
planning board's not involved, you know, it's in your court.
Right, right,
Yours and the attorneys.
right, right.
I'd like to see you do that, yes.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll just fast track it. How's that? We don't, I'll write a resolution retroactive for tonight to set a public hearing for the local law to update the code book relative to the sewer code, mirroring the state code. Sorry, we're pretty darn close.
Update.
Yes, yes, the simple update.
Can we make a motion without it having already been written down?
Actually, we don't even really need a oh, we do need a
Yeah,
resolution.
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But I'm writing
But
one,
you're-
writing one retroactive, and I'll need a motion that we're all good with that.
I make the motion.
I second it.
So
Discussion,
I would like to offer some help. I was
yes,
gonna discuss this with you after the meeting.
excellent,
I would like to help write all of the code updates that we need,
okay,
okay, so that we can batch them. If
That'd be
I under-
wonderful.
If I understand correctly, it's cheaper.
yes, well, we got budget for it, and yes, I've talked to general code, yes.
Let you and I chat,
And then we'll have our big update after the comp.
right,
Yep, and
because
then go
there's like 2 or 3.
360, the E version of,
But
Okay.
this public hearing is just for the sewer code.
correct.
Correct. Okay. And I'm
How
getting,
about our comp plan committee?
I
which
need
is
an
not
all
here.
in favor.
Help,
It
yes.
helps
You know,
out
we
the
still have-
town.
I need an all in favor.
All in favor,
All right,
Aye,
Thank you.
that carries.
Thank you.
Who's writing that resolution? I'll write it.
I'll send you a template.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That'll be a great reminder. And the skiing's really good, by the way. I bet it is. Local law. Other privilege of the floor. This meeting's shorter than I thought it was gonna be. My shortest
Hearing
meetings of the day.
nothing, I make a motion to adjourn.
You know,
Second.
look into the.
I second.
Help.
Yeah, hopefully I can get home
You didn't